So now I'm looking at my color theory notes, and I'm going to make some indications and notes to myself on my reference sheet. So I think I need about, this is a light gray, slightly darker gray, white, very light gray. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need about 5. I would like, personally, I'm going to simplify this reference into 5 colors. So I want to do my best to plan out what kind of colors I want. And I think that some of it I will probably keep. I'm going to use tints and shades. So am I wanting to use a completely cool color palette because I have a soothing memory of this place or association with this place I've chosen? Do I love the vibrancy of this place and want to use a warm color palette? Would I like to, do I maybe have mixed feelings and I want to use a contrasting palette of warm and cool? Should we have analogous colors? Again, that would be my cool or my warm most likely, especially if I want 5. Or should I do it all in one monochromatic scheme? All different values of blue. Or do I want to do complementary, couple different values of blue, couple different values of orange? That could be cool. I'm kind of into that concept. But since I'm the teacher and I like a challenge, I think I'm going to go with a split complement. So in my case, if I flip back to my color wheel here, I'm a big fan of things like the blue green and the blue violet and an orange. So, I think I'm going to do orange, blue green, blue violet. So tints, and for me, this is me planning out, and I'm going to write out my plan, and I'm even going to test some of my colors down here. So I'm going to do, I choose a split complementary. So I'm going to go with orange as my base color, and then the 2 intermediates next to its complement. So I want to simplify my color palette into 5 colors. You might choose fewer. You're choosing how you're going to simplify this into a painting. So my lightest gray, I think I'm going to make a majority of this orange. So I'm going to have a very light tint of orange. Second color, I want this to be blue, a bluer, blue violet. I'm just showing my thinking in my notes to myself. And then both of these I'd like to do blue greens. Lighter, slightly darker. So I'm going to go get my paint. I'm going to test out some of this palette, see if I like it. I might change my mind once I'm done. All right, so I'm ready to paint. I have my brushes, I have my water, my paint water, and I have my paints that I'm going to use. And y'all are probably so excited. They're acrylics. They are acrylics, y'all. I also have paper towels, so I'm going to just test my color palette. Again, I might end up changing my mind. So we're first going to create our orange. I grabbed brand new brushes. So they're a little stiff. So I'm just getting it a little less stiff. I'm gonna dry it off because we don't need all that extra water. All right, I'm gonna do, remember, red is really powerful. We only need a tiny bit in comparison to the yellow. Oh, this is so nice. I would say that this is kind of a yellow-orange. This is maybe not exactly where I want to get yet, but these color relationships and their complications, you might need to kind of, and it's okay, this is my personal paint, so I'm just going to dip back into that red. I don't need a pure red. There we go. This is a little closer to what I was hoping for. I might go ahead and make more of this color, but first because you want to make sure that, I mean, you can still make enough of it. If you have to remake it, it won't hurt you too bad, but. So these are my little test. Got my orange. Oh, psh. Look at this. I wasn't even paying attention. This is probably, I would leave this one here. But I am going to make two different tints of this orange. Very light. And if you want to know the official rules, when you're mixing your colors, you want to use a palette knife. I'm using a brush, so I'm trying to I'm twisting that brush around. I don't know if it's focused in there, right? So that I get any extra paint that's hidden up in the top out so that I can get an even mixture of my color. Look at that nice light orange. And now this is, wet still. But there we go. It was dry enough. So that is the lightest color I'm going to go. I'll probably do white on a lot of it too. So I might see what the pure white looks like next to this. But I think I'm also going to make this guy just a little more of a tint. You might not want like a pastel-y color palette. So this might not be right for you. That's why we're doing this little color test down there first. I'm going to leave this orange so I can think about it. And I'm sweeping my brush on the bottom of my water. I'm not stabbing it. I am sweeping it. And I'm going to go ahead and use a paper towel to clean it off best I can. Look at all that extra paint I had up around the middle, or the metal portion of the brush. Just get sweep, sweep, sweep. Dry. Now I'm going to make my blue-green with my yellow over here. And this blue is a little funky, and I kind of do need some water to get it a little bit less chunky. And I put this yellow over here because I'm making my blue-green over there with that. Oof. So that is very grassy green, kind of a puke green. I might have had a little bit too much red left in my brush, and now those complements are mixing together. But I'm kind of into it. But I won't know for sure until I put it down with my other colors. And this blue is not wanting to mix very well. I think I got too much red in this. for me to ever be happy with this, but we'll see. I might still be stubborn enough to just keep trying, even though I know better. Alrighty. In fact, I think I can find a better blue. I think this blue is old. Yeah, that's not gonna fly. Not gonna fly, guys. It's just not. So, I'm gonna try again, my darlings. Dry, dry, dry. I'm gonna make sure it's really, I mean, I don't think I got enough of that red out as part of that problem. So I'm gonna go grab some new blue. All right, so I got my blue, got a new blue, and this is so much better. It's not even funny. So I'm gonna go ahead and steal some, slap it in there. And I'm looking for like a teal. There we go. It's a little more what I'm talking about. I might still go back for some more blue, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean it because I need to make my purple, and I'm probably gonna make the purple in the middle, or my blue violet. So I'm sweeping my brush in my water. I'm drying it off. Make sure it's really dry because I don't want to contaminate my blue with the green because I don't have any more spaces on my palette. So trying to stay engaged with what I'm doing. I'm going to make a darker version of this and then do a tint. So I'm going to leave just the hue as my darker. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then I'll borrow a little white. I've already contaminated the white pretty bad, so I'm just going to continue. Oof. Yar. I wish these brushes were a little bit stiffer, but it is what it is. Oh yes. Oh yes, I think that'll be a nice little transition. And now I'm going to play with my purple, my blue violet. Thus far, I'm pretty happy with this. I think the question is, do I want this orange or this orange thus far? And my blue violet, I think I'm just going to let be the darkest thing on there. Notice how I have, personally, I'm not making a shade. If you're wanting a darker, moodier color palette, you can go for that, please. But for me, that's not where I want to go. I want things to be a little bit brighter, but not too light either. I don't need everything, I don't want it to, I mean, Easter's coming up. Maybe you want to celebrate a little bit, make a little abstract representational painting for Easter and embrace those pastels and do an entire painting in tints. Okay, so this will be my darkest dark. I might, in the end, yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. So, I personally think I am happy with this color palette. I might try and push 6 colors because I like having both of these. This might be, you know what, these might be my streets instead of white, and I might push it a little bit lighter. Yeah, I'll figure it out, but I like this palette. I might lighten this up a tad, but maybe not. I like this palette. Now you get to figure out your palette. Alrighty then. So I went ahead and numbered each one of my colors on my palette that I've created. And now I'm gonna kind of, just to help myself out, and I can change my mind as I go, but I'm gonna go ahead and write down which colors I won't wear. So I want this darker one to be a 6, my 6. I'm gonna go 5, 4, this lighter gray I'm gonna do 2. All right, so I kind of have an idea of what colors are going to go where.